I'm not gonna lie, this issue's kind of confusing. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Well, 5 minutes, maybe 6. Support the comic book industry by visiting your local comic book store. My name is Dorian. This is SEO Comics. We continue our covers of Psylocke. Number 8. Our story starts off in Alaska and John Greycoat's cabin, where John is like, "You're not going." And Devin's like, "I'm going. I'm ready. I got you to protect me, and I got a taser." And John's like, "Dude, first off, you have no field experience, and a taser's not going to help you with a trained hand ninja, or God forbid, Shinobi Shaw." So then Devin's like, "He won't hurt me. I'm too cute." And Greycoat's like, "That's never stopped him before." So then he explains how he has dirt on Shinobi Shaw that he donates to about 12 different orphanages with nobody really knowing about it. And he has murdered many people to make sure that that secret stays a secret. I know about it, and I told him that upon my death, if he ever decided to kill me about it, that it would go out to about 12 different news outlets. It would kill his bad boy image. He doesn't want that. So John's like, "All right, I get it. You can come. But hey, stay behind me. Let me do the talking." So then we cut to Kyoto, Japan, where Psylocke is back where she grew up at, in the bamboo forest, and it's snowing. Seems like it's always snowing. She explains how when they went on missions, they used to walk in each other's footsteps to cut down on the number of people that the enemy might think is on the way. But to achieve that, her master made them walk on glass. This is how old I am. As soon as I saw that, first thing that came to mind was Jean-Claude Van Damme's Kickboxer, when they had to dip their wraps in glue and then roll their hands in glass, and then that's how they fought. I don't know why it's first thing came to mind, but first thing came to mind. Now this ghost that's behind her, who's I guess supposed to be Mizuki, her friend, she doesn't want to turn around and look at her, even though she knows she's behind her. And then she thinks back to when they were kids and how the hand would use psychics. And if you had special abilities, then you train with Master Hayashi. Now the way that he did it is his training was so hard, you would either succeed because of your special abilities, or you would perish in the process. Either scenario was fine with him. So one day, her and Mizuki had a hard training session. The winner would get a hot meal. The loser, you don't want to know what the loser got. They went at it. Went at it hard. And in the end, Mizuki won, which she was rewarded with a hot meal, while Kwannon got a punishment. Now, they didn't really say what that punishment was, but if their training consists on them walking on glass, then I can just imagine it was probably worse. So they meet up afterwards, and Mizuki is using a yokai cat to talk to Kwannon, because her ability is to speak to yokai, which are supernatural spirits or entities. I guess you could just call them ghosts. And she brings Kwannon something to eat, and she's also asking Kwannon why she let her win. So Kwannon's like, "You won fair and square." And Mizuki is like, "Yeah, okay." So then we cut to where Master Hayashi sends them on a mission to go after a traitor who has double-crossed a hand and stole a soul-devouring sword. They're supposed to get it back, or they don't come back. So they go off to look for this dude. Mizuki uses the local yokai around her to try to locate him, and when they do, the sword has fully taken over, and this dude looks like a demon. He's literally eating the body parts off of these hand ninjas that he has dismembered. So then we come back to New York, where John Greycrow and Devin are there to speak to Shinobi Shaw. So they show the picture of Psylocke and the mark on her wrist, and they're like, "What is this?" So of course they do a little back and forth, and then Shinobi's like, "Do you know a dude named Matsuo?" And John Greycrow's like, "No, of course I don't." So then we come back to Psylocke in the present time, and she's visiting a gravesite, and Mizuki, or seemed like the ghost of Mizuki, shows up behind her and is pretty much telling her that she's a bad friend and she left her to die. So Psylocke is like, "Look, I can't face you until I make things right. I know where Hayashi's compound still is, and I'm gonna go up there. and I'm gonna kill her. So we cut back to the past, and they're trying to come up with a game plan to try to attack this dude down who's pretty much a demon. And they see how fast he is because this one-hand ninja goes running, and this dude chases him down with no problems whatsoever and sticks his sword right through his back. So then they take this opportunity to attack. This dude shatters Psylocke's sword, and then Mizuki has like a kunai with chains, I think it is. I don't know. I might have watched too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, she wraps the chains around his leg, and he breaks it with no problem. So then they regroup, and Mizuki like, this dude is strong and fast. What the hell are we gonna do? And Psylocke busts out some kunai, and it was like, you heard the master. We take him down, we don't come back. So they attack again, and Mizuki is using the yokai to try to help in the fight, and this dude is taking them out too with the greatest of ease. So then we cut back to New York, and Kwannon seems like she was involved with a literally like Romeo and Juliet type of situation with a rival ninja clan. She was fighting this dude on a rooftop, a duel to the death. She slipped into the sea and supposedly to her death, but we all know she didn't die. 9 times out of 10, she slipped so that she wouldn't have to kill this dude. Anyway, this dude has the same mark on his wrist as Psylocke has on her wrist right now. So the devil's like, alright, so where do we find this dude at? And Shinobi's like, oh, you'll find his remains at the hand headquarters in Tokyo. And they're like, he's dead? And Shinobi's like, yeah, he had a run-in with Psylocke when Bessie was at the wheel, and yeah, she took him out. So then John Greycoat goes to Devin's like, alright, looks like we're going to Japan. So then we cut back into the past, and during this fight with this dude is when Psylocke's powers manifested, and she takes this dude out by stabbing 2 kunai into his eyes and frying his brain with her powers. So now that they defeated the dude and got the sword back, now they go back to Master Hayashi, which at the present time we see Psylocke on her way to go ahead and kill him. And when she gets there, she bumps into a girl, and it's Mizuki, who is alive and well. They hug, and Psylocke is so confused, which at this point, I'm very confused. Who the hell is the ghost? So she looks back to see the ghost, and they're gone. So the Mizuki is like, look, it's cold. Why don't we get inside so I can warm you up? They go inside the compound, they close the door, and there's a weird symbol on the door, which I'm thinking, that's the same symbol that's probably on the wrist. But I could be wrong. Now, Psylocke knows something's wrong here, but just like Jean Grey and she gets back her big sister, even though she knows this is an impossibility and something is definitely wrong, she's like not saying in denial, but she's going with it just because she wants this to last just a little bit longer. And Psylocke is the same way with Mizuki.